ISO 27001 Annex A 5.25 Assessment and Decision on Information Security Events. Okay, there's going to be quite a little bit of detail to go through in this one. There is a blog associated with it. Click the link below to fast track and get more details on it, and there may be a little bit of reading that I'm going to do on that. But the basic concept of this is, in the last tutorial we went through incident planning. So we went through incident management, the process of information management, defining roles, defining processes, the reporting, all the good stuff around that. What this is around is making an assessment and a decision on whether an event is an information security incident or not, and then doing some various things around it. What I would say on this is we're going to be looking at a lot of events, right? I mean, a lot of events happen within your organization. It may be the case that if you have a pre-existing incident management, incident plan, incident management process, that you bake this into that, right? So when an incident is raised with the help desk or whatever it may be, that you do some assessment of it, which, if you remember in the last tutorial, we talked about having a structure of incident management and then a breakout to what we call L2, level 2 subgroups. And one of those L2 subgroups being information security. So the assessment would be, at what point do they then invoke the L2, the information security team, to treat this as an information security incident. Okay, so there's a little bit of things that we need to go through in there. Let's start off with the definition. So the organization should assess information security events and decide if they are to be categorized as information security incidents, right? Lots of things happening. How do we decide what is and what isn't an information security incident that then needs information security incident management and planning? So the criteria, there's a criteria for categorizing events. You can have your own criteria as long as you've documented it within the templates that I provide within the toolkit and within the blog below. You're going to see we've got the roles and responsibilities that we've documented and defined, but you can look at the following as examples of things that we could categorize as an information security event. So things such as a virus, unauthorized access to information and systems, ransomware, a ransomware attack, a system outage, social engineering attacks, unauthorized disclosure of information, unauthorized modification of information, and denial of service of information systems or users. So there's some good criteria that we can put in place. Again, you can use common sense. It doesn't have to be prescriptive. This is your baseline. But you're going to go through as events occur and identify whether or not you think it's an information security incident. If you think about the kind of events that are happening in your organization, you've got technical events, right? People logging onto systems, people logging off of systems, data being transferred. Not all of those events are information security events, right? It's just events, right? You're logging and you're monitoring your systems. So it's just whittling it down and saying, right, which ones of these are information security incidents? What we need to do is we need to assess those. So the point of contact is going to assess those using the following as guidance, really. So we're going to look at the impact, we're going to look at the urgency, and we're going to look at the priority. So impact is the impact of the event, which we're going to assess in terms of the severity of the consequences, such as loss of confidentiality, integrity, availability of data, right? So what is the impact? We're going to assess the impact. We're going to assess the urgency. So the urgency of the event should be assessed in terms of how quickly a resolution is needed. And the priority of the event should be determined by its impact and urgency, right? So an information security assessment formula would be impact times urgency equals priority. Once we've got that, we need to make a decision on information security events. So the point of contact, the role, the responsibility that we've defined for this is going to make a decision on each information security event based on the assessment, whether the event is an information security incident, the priority of the incident, and the appropriate response to the incident. We're going to record that, so the results of the assessment and decision should be recorded. Now, what this is looking at is saying, can you show me events that were incidents, information security incidents, and events that weren't, and that you recorded them and applied this criteria to them as a record that you were going through it, right? So the level of record that you keep for that is going to be down to you, right? Again, this is why I heavily rely on pre-existing incident management processes, right? Because it's baked in. It's an industry in its own right, and it's baked in. But you're going to record, the date, the time, the nature, the impact, the urgency, the priority, the decision, and the response, right, for each and every event. So yeah, incident management, right, it's going to be baked into that. So that's going to be a high-level overview. To pass an audit, you want to document your incident management plan, you want to implement your incident management plan, you want to bake in information security as part of that, whether it's in the main incident management process or an L2, a sub-team that you call out to on the assessment that an event is an information security event. You wanted to monitor that process for effectiveness, and you want to keep the records off the back of it that show that that process is operating. The audit is going to have a check to make sure that roles and responsibilities are assigned. So they're going to see who is responsible for the information security incidents and the assessment, the criteria that you've gone through, some evidences of that criteria being applied. They're going to be looking at making sure that that process is working. They want to see also, as part of all of incident management and in terms of this, the lessons learned. So they want to see, 27001 based on continual improvement. The information security management system continually improves. What was the continual improvement? How did you resolve the incident? What was it that you put in place? How did you manage that? So they're going to want to track that. They're going to be looking for evidences of things that have happened so that you can evidence that this is in place. So that is high level. It's part of incident management. Get yourself an incident management process. Ideally have an incident management team. If you're a small organization, a micro organization, use the templates that I provided you in the toolkit. Watch the guides, watch the videos, watch the tutorials, read the blog associated with this, and you're going to be absolutely golden. My name remains Stuart Barker. I remain the ISO 27001 ninja, the online guru for ISO 27001 as we work our way through these Annex A controls. But for now, until the next tutorial, peace out.